What's up guys, Matt Allen Gaming here, and today I've got another great unboxing and review for you because my PG27AQ replacement monitor is here. Now the first time that I got this monitor, I noticed right away from the outside of the box that it was really beat up and I was nervous right before I started to open it. So if you guys watched my last video, you will have seen that the last PG27AQ monitor that I purchased was just brutal. It had terrible backlight bleed issues and an awful orange tint across the entire screen. So let's see if Asus figured it out this time and finally sent me a working 4K monitor. Alright, so already from the outside of the box, I can tell that this was handled a lot better. The last box when I got it looked like it was just completely thrown around. It was dented in everywhere. So at least there's hope at this point that we're going to have a functioning monitor. Alright, let's see here. Okay. Whew. Get some of that like factory smell. Hey, kitty. Hey. Hey. This is what I have to deal with. Hey. Get out of there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Psst. Oh my gosh. Come on, kitty. Come on. Come on. You're right in the camera. Come on. Alright, let's get into this. This time there's no CDs thrown around or manuals torn up or anything like that. It's the same story as both the PG27AQ and the last AQ we opened up. It's just in landscape mode and it's got the same packaging as it is basically the same monitor. So for cables, obviously this thing is going to need power just like last time. There's the power adapter. One part of the power adapter. Here is the second part of the power adapter. Nice small little block there. And of course, it's got to come with an HDMI cable. It also has a USB cable, and for that 4K resolution, the display port cable. As always, we've got the manual and setup guide, and then the disc version of the manual and setup guide right there. And this time you can see it's not beat up. Or maybe, no, that is like, I don't know, that's some styrofoam. It's not ripped or anything. Last time this was torn up and looked like garbage. Now it's time, the moment of truth, to get this stuff off of here and to see if we have a functioning monitor. Hopefully there's no backlight bleed, or at least very little. I know it is an IPS panel, and I really hope that that weird orange color correction tint is not on this monitor, because that really made the monitor unusable. The monitor has a height adjustment from 0 to 120 millimeters, swivel 60 degrees in either direction, tilt upwards 20 degrees and down 5 degrees, as well as pivot 90 degrees clockwise so that the monitor can be used in landscape mode. Moving from the left to the right, at the back of the monitor, we have our power and auxiliary input, a DisplayPort 1.2 input, HDMI, USB 3 upstream, and 2 USB 3 downstream ports. On the bottom right of the monitor, we can see the indicators for all the different menu buttons. The menu buttons can be found just behind those indicators, of course, and you can see that red joystick button which allows you to navigate through the menu. Now, the red joystick is actually pretty easy to use. It makes navigating throughout the menus and options a lot easier than you'd expect. On the menu itself, we've got a bunch of different blue light filter options so that you're not straining your eyes too much at nighttime. We've got a ton of color correction options as well as a couple presets. We've got some image settings as well as input settings, whether you want to use HDMI or DisplayPort, but you have to use DisplayPort for that 4K resolution, as well as a bunch of other setup options. The monitor also comes with what Asus is calling their gamer-centric features. This includes a crosshair logo that can go in the center of your screen, which is really useful for when you're playing first-person shooter games. Comes with a couple different options there. There's also a timer which appears on the upper left-hand corner of your screen, and that can range from 30 minutes all the way up to 90 minutes. There's also a frames per second counter that goes on the top right-hand corner of the screen. And on this monitor, you're not going to see this number get anywhere over 60 because it is limited by the 60 Hertz refresh rate. And that's one of the major limitations for this monitor. We've got 4K resolution on an IPS panel with G-Sync compatibility, and even though most systems aren't going to be able to run those 4K games at over 60 frames per second, it's still going to be a deal breaker for most FPS gamers. But maybe that's something to be said about 4K gaming in general, as opposed to just the PG27AQ. But even still, if I wanted to play at a lower resolution on the 4K monitor, I'd still be limited by that 60 Hertz refresh rate. Besides that, the 4K resolution is a significant improvement over any 1080p monitor. But when you compare it to a 2560 by 1440p monitor like the PG27AQ I have beside it, I have to say it's pretty tough to see the difference. And while we're comparing the two monitors, the PG27AQ, that's the 1440p version, is significantly brighter. The 4K PG27AQ monitor, for whatever reason, has a max brightness level that is much weaker. Now to the problem that's plagued all the PG series monitors, one that I personally experienced when I ordered the last PG27AQ monitor. I'm talking about the color representation and backlight bleed. The color representation on this PG27AQ is much better than the defective PG27AQ I received last time, and it may be even better than the PG27AQ. However, there is still quite a bit of backlight bleed. And it's never really noticeable unless you're on an all black screen, but oh man, when you are, it sticks out like a sore thumb. So unless you're really wanting to try gaming at 4K and you're willing to bust out a couple extra bucks for the PG27AQ monitor, not to mention rolling the dice on that quality control, then from my personal experience, I would definitely recommend the 2560 by 1440p PG279Q monitor, especially for FPS gamers looking for that high 165 Hz refresh rate. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you want to see my other monitor unboxing videos, those will be on screen right now and you guys can check those out. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more content coming soon. Thanks for watching.